Hello everyone, Rituro here with another episode of Blue and White, my video review, video diary, let's play of Football Manager 2014, specifically with the Vancouver Whitecaps in Major League Soccer. We did it, everybody! It was horrible for the longest time. You may recall how glued to the bottom of the table the Vancouver Whitecaps were, but with one game to go, the final game of the season, today's featured match against FC Dallas, we have qualified for the playoffs, and we have secured a position no worse than third place. That is guaranteed. We cannot fall to worse than third place, so we will not be in the knockout round, but we could still doom Dallas to the knockout round if we can beat them in the featured match. Plenty to play for, including Seattle. You may remember when Seattle was the worst team by a mile? Well, they had a massive fight back as well. They are level with Chivas. They could still be in a playoff spot by the time the final match is played. We'll just have to wait and see. Over in the other conference, Columbus, 62 points. They actually clinched the Supporters' Shield with 2 games to go. A fantastic season for the crew. They are your 2016 Supporters' Shield winners. Plenty of other stuff to get to on the league front. Before we get too far down that rabbit hole, let's take a look at what's been happening internationally. As you know, Canada has been attempting to qualify from a difficult group in World Cup qualifying. But can you believe it? They managed to do it. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Right behind Mexico on 12 points, 2 ahead of Costa Rica. A fantastic... I'm just amazed that this actually happened. I knew it was going to be a fight. I honestly thought we'd be just slightly behind, but we did it. Which puts us into the Hex. A Hex that is almost identical to the real-life 2014 World Cup Hex, with one noticeable difference. US, Panama, Mexico, Jamaica, Honduras were all there. Costa Rica was the other team in the Hex, and they have been replaced by Canada. Oh, it's going to be a fun Hex, or it would be a fun Hex if we were to get that far, but let's look at what happened in the third qualifying round. As you know, it has been a rough group of qualifying. But we did manage to get the results when we needed them, starting with a 2-0 result over Costa Rica. And this was the away leg. This was at Estadio Nacional de Costa Rica. And Jonathan Osorio, man of the match with 2 goals, one in the 69th and a dagger in the 90th to win it. Great performance, especially on the back line. Daniil Henry, Luca Gasparotto, and Ashton Morgan showing up huge in this match. Gershon Kofi also a rock. Caleb Clark, the setup man. Osorio, the finisher. Quite a result. Let's take a look at Osorio's goals here. In Canada's 2-0 win over Costa Rica. Borjan here on the goal kick. Forward to Daniil Henry. Henry to Osorio. From his position on the right, finds Aparicio and Kofi. Then back to Simeon Jackson to Caleb Clark. To Osorio, and it's in the back of the net. Thank you very much. His first goal for Canada, if you can believe it. And he wouldn't be done there. He'd get both his goals for Canada in the same match. After that little header falls to Borjan, the Canadian keeper, restarts the attack. Actually walks it out himself for quite a ways before finding Hume. Hume can't quite control the ball, but Gasparotto is there to head the ball back to midfield where Aparicio takes over. Gets the ball to Caleb Clark. It is a fantastic ball. First to Clark and then from Clark as Osorio nails that ball off the post and into the back of the net. 2-0 Canada over Costa Rica. That was the first of that World Cup or the qualifying fixture break. The second one was against Barbados. Now again, Barbados, despite being the minnows in this group, they did not go down without a fight. Yes, they were on 0 points. They did not win a single match or draw a single match in their group, but they scored goals and made life tricky. Even here, up 2-0. Luther Springer from the spot made it a little bit nervy at Hadley Court Stadium in Bridgetown, Barbados, but thankfully, only from the penalty spot would be the consolation for Barbados. Jonathan Osorio with his third goal in 2 matches kicks things off right here. Borjan, great goal kick, bounces past everybody, and Osorio doing so well there on the right side of the pitch. We played the polar cut diamond formation for both the Costa Rica and the Barbados game, and it seems to have worked a right treat here. Rayner intercepting the goal kick. Adrian Russell Rayner getting some time on the pitch here. doing very well as we try to blood as many of these youngsters, get them meaningful minutes on the international scene. And it worked out quite nicely in this game. Caleb Clark goes long for Rob Friend, can't quite reach him, and Rouse is there to scoop it up. But the Canadians would not be denied for long. Bruce's goal kick only as far as Edson Edward, the FC Edmonton, right back with an excellent name considering the team that he's on. Edson Edward for the Eddies. Love it. Friend finds Clark with a nice ball there. Clark waits. Nice cheeky little flick to Russell Tybert. Puts it in the back of the net. Thank you very much. Tybert does very well to make his reappearance for the national team count with the 2-0 goal. And while this penalty from Springer would cause a little bit of consternation, it was ultimately for nothing. Yes, they got their celebration in front of their fans, but that's all they would get. Canada, 2-1 winners, looking very good. And at this point, both Canada and Mexico were in the qualification spot. Canada needed a win to guarantee a spot. Mexico needed a point. Can you believe it? At home, in front of a raucous crowd at TD Place, Caleb Clark with the 5th minute shocker, and then we put up the barricades, bunkered down in the classic 4-2-2-2 box formation. Kofi, Osorio, and Clark owning the midfield. Clark, always a danger up front. And that was all they wrote. I mean, they tried, and they brought in the big guns. They had Guillermo Ochoa on the back, El Cubo Torres and Chicharito up front for Mexico, and they just could not get through the Canadian wall after Caleb Clark did the damage. 14 shots to 5 for Mexico, but they could not get through Canada. And Canada, all they needed was a little invitation to score early on and get that key goal. And it starts with Simeon Jackson picking up this clearance off of a set piece, drawing all kinds of attention. Gershon Kobe playing just a sublime ball for Caleb Clark, who makes no mistake whatsoever. That's the goal that won it. And you know what happened after that. Some sublime defense. Canada gets their win, qualifies for the Hex. That was the minimum goal for Canada, and we got it. We are in the Hex, but we still had a game left. And that game was against Costa Rica. Now, we had a chance here to go top of the group, but honestly, I was more concerned with getting other people who are in this camp, and who are in this team that I called up, minutes. So Gantar got a full 90 up front. Atakube got a start at the back. As you can see, they kind of got victimized here. Osorio certainly did his best, feeding Rob Friend twice, and actually, as you can see, goals in the 1st and 16th minute, it looked like we were going to run all over Costa Rica. This wonderfully held match at Saputo Stadium in Montreal. Unfortunately, an own goal from Gantar opened the floodgates a little bit, and then Celso Borges sealed it for the Ticos. Let's take a look at the goals. As they tried, did Costa Rica, to make it respectable, but by this point it was all over but the crying. They get a little bit of pride getting a win, but they will not be in the Hex. They will not be going to the 2018 World Cup. And that chance still rests with Canada. So again, we've only just kicked off here. This is just after kickoff. Clark to Atakube. Looks for Friend, can't find him. Will Johnson picks up the ball. Atakube will try again from the left. Back to Johnson. Aparicio to Osorio. Great little passing play. Atiba Hutchinson to Osorio. Off the bar, but Rob Friend is there to clean up the garbage. Had Osorio scored, it would have still been a fantastic goal and a fantastic start. Rob Friend, though, gets the headline with his 1-0 goal a minute into the match. Move ahead now, and there's the own goal. It looks like it should be charged to Hutchinson, not Gantar, but regardless, sloppy defending, and we are all level at 1. However, Canada would immediately reassert themselves. Atiba Hutchinson finding Jonathan Osorio, who sets up Aparicio. Again, it's that man, Rob Friend, on the doorstep to clean up the garbage. 2-1 Canada, and they are loving it in Montreal. Unfortunately, this was a beautiful free kick from Borges. Up where not even Gantar could find it. I don't even think Borjan could have got that if he were in net. 2-2 as we head into the halftime break. Finally, the winning goal. That man again. Where is he? There's Borges. Borges survives a tackle from Hutchinson, although barely. Where the ball comes back to Azufefa. Azufefa to Borges. Takes the ball right off of Alderson after he sloppily gives it away, and he makes no mistake punishing the young defender and giving Costa Rica a win and a bit of pride back. Ultimately, though, as I said, it is for nothing, and Canada qualifies for the Hex. All right, back in Major League Soccer. Well, not quite back in Major League Soccer. We have one tiny little bit of international news to point out here, and that is that Jason Holt is finally getting meaningful minutes with the Scottish national team. Oh, I'm so happy for him. Now, he actually also, if you notice there in his profile, he has Canadian citizenship now, so he no longer counts as international, which is fantastic. Love that. But more importantly, let's look at Holt's form here. He's, as you might expect for someone who's just been introduced to the Scottish national team, he's been okay. He announced himself in style against Montenegro and Kazakhstan, just dominating the game. His next match against England was decidedly worse. And in a friendly against Italy, he didn't do much to redeem himself. But again, he's only just made the full national team, and I can only hope that as qualification continues, he will get more and more minutes for his country. Let's go look at the award situation here. It's award season as the season winds down in Major League Soccer. And we have a couple of awards to vote on here. Defender of the Year is out. The shortlist includes none other than Vancouver's Jonathan Torres, who unfortunately I cannot vote for because coaches can't vote for their own players. The other defenders on the shortlist, Rodney Wallace, Omar Gonzalez, Iko Para, and Paulinho. 3 Cascadian, Sporting Kansas City, and Galaxy. Not sure yet who I'm going to vote for. I'm leaning towards, just based on the contribution, I'm leaning towards Iko Para, followed by Gonzalez, and then Paulinho, because it gives Torres the best chance to get out of there. On to the MVP front, Matias Mirabaje again showing up. He is really making a name for himself in Major League Soccer, but it's his partner, Luis Bolaños, who I am going to say definitely deserves it, not just because of his average rating, but because 15 assists with 5 player of the match. Yeah, that's what I look for in my MVPs. And Enrique Esqueda making a name himself as well in Montreal, though in 23 appearances, 10 goals, 8 assists is pretty darn good. Not good enough in my eyes to top Bolaños, so he will hopefully win it if there is any justice in the world. All right, let's get now to the state of Major League Soccer with the Vancouver Whitecaps. Now, we start off with a friendly in Egypt. I don't know why I booked a friendly in Egypt in the middle of all of this, but we went to Suez FC, got a 2-0 victory, happy with that. Now, we were supposed to go to Sporting Kansas City, but with all of our losses for international play, they actually postponed the match. We, both Sporting and us, agreed, postponed the match, and it was fantastic. So, RSL came up first, and they, if you know this series, you know my difficulties with RSL are many. But we got a 2-1 win at Rio Tinto. An incredible result. For all intents and purposes, it was 2-0 till Joey Barton got a consolation goal at the end. Mane kicking things off in style with a goal right at the first minute. That goal, I believe it was some 20-odd seconds into the match. It's a Vancouver record, a club record for fastest goal scored in league play. And you're going to see how it happens here. Holt looking for Estrella, can't quite find him. But Barton, his ball goes straight to Quinones, to Clark, to Estrella, to Mane, who's onside. Thank you very much, in the back of the net. That's how you start the match. The second goal now for Vancouver, Beitashour throwing into Estrella. Quinones and Beitashour on the right. There's that man Estrella, gets to Mane, who goes outside to Beitashour. Estrella and Quinones, the 1-2. Mane, what a nice little setup. Clever little tiki-taka to get Mane and then Estrella into a shooting position. Estrella takes the shot, gets the goal, 2-0 Vancouver. As I said, though, Arsenal would get a little consolation here. João Plata goes out wide to Vera. Vera. Barton. Woods. Plata. Martinez. Vera. And there's Barton charging in as the Vancouver defense a little sloppy in approaching that loose ball. But again, it doesn't matter. 2-1 is a win, and thank you very much. We then went to Sporting Kansas City in a 0-0. Then, we were at home against Sporting Kansas City, as we were against FC Dallas, and that also 0-0. Now, I was a little bit worried in both of those, because these are matches where I have, hopefully good strikers available to me. I got Caleb Clark here. Nothing. FC Dallas. Caleb Clark with Lecon off the bench. Again, nothing. Slightly worried. Thankfully, a 3-0 destruction of RSL again at Rio Tinto. It's just incredible. Le was injured in the 86th. But he did his part in this match. 7.7. If he's not scoring, he's at least going to set up goals, and he did so in style, setting up Tybert and Mane. Torres would get a penalty in the middle there, at which point I realized Le was not set as a penalty taker, and that was instantly fixed. Alright, let's take a look at these goals here. Le off the free kick. Almost finds the head of Tybert, but just not quite. Thankfully, that clearance does not get any further than Quinones and Aboukite. Quinones goes out wide to Bédescher. Mane and Quinones in the midfield. Holt plays in Aboukite. Finds Le, who turns, sets up Tybert. First time. Takes a touch wonderfully into the back of the net. Nice left-footed strike, which Tybert loves to do. You know Tybert loves working with that left foot. From the spot, Torres, no problems there. Great penalty-taking centre-back. Nobody expects a centre-back. Le could have taken it if I was thinking. But it doesn't really matter, as I said, because Vancouver would win this thing 3-0 on the back of great defensive work like that by Shane O'Neill. Tybert and Revivo fight for that ball. Revivo making a rare start, who puts in a nice ball to Mane. Why couldn't he be doing that more often? Revivo making that start count. 7.5 for Brian Revivo. Everybody just phenomenal. Great performances all around. 3-0 is exactly what I wanted to see out of this team. And then we had to go home and do it all again. This time, RSL showed up. They weren't going to let us embarrass them a third time in a row. A 3-3 draw at home at BC Place. It wasn't enough to keep Hector Modreno in a job. He would be fired following this 3-3 draw, which is interesting because Walker Woods, single-handedly rescued this game for them after Le finally got off his schneid and got a brace in the 32nd and 35th minute to open his goal-scoring account. And again, this is why I brought Le in, to do this kind of magic. And you're going to see what I mean here as we get things kicked off. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best kind of start when we kick things off, because you like to hope, maybe we hold possession, things are going well. But not so. You can see Zizlowski there playing in the D-mid role as everyone was on an international break as we play in the Hammerhead 4-1-1-4 formation. And he did alright, did Zizlowski. All things considered, it's not his best position by far. And you can see why, allowing João Plata to walk in unmolested. Plata splits the defense, scores an early 1-0 goal. At that point, I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go. And then Le does that. That is just a sensational free kick from Le. That's how you get your first goal. And you might be thinking, oh great, he can only score from set pieces. Well, thankfully, it's not the case. After a good-looking RSL chance is broken up by Aboukite, Fouad Aboukite gets the ball forward to Tybert. Back to Australia, and the Vancouver break is on. Tybert, Tapia to Le. Thank you very much on the counter. Tapia and Le link up. Lovely. Well done by the two of them. And it is 2-1 Vancouver. But that's not all. Before the half is out, Weatherstone with the goal kick to restart. Can't find Tapia with that goal kick, but Schmid just a little bit short in picking up that ball. Luckily for Schmid, Zizlowski's there, finally getting the knack of that D-mid roll. And Tapia and Le get the ball going. Good defense by RSL to stop the attack, but Bédescher breaks up the counter by RSL, and Estrella sends Le forward. Le then puts it for himself to Tapia, and it's the reverse. The first time it was Tapia to Le, this time it's Le to Tapia. That's the 3-1 goal. And at that point you're thinking, alright, well, we are off to the races here. It's done and dusted, call it a day. Oh, well, not quite. Plata skins his man, not once. No, I guess just once there. Must be a different play. I'm thinking of Vera, however, does take the ball off him, and this is where Plata gets his second time through. Nice little cross for Woods. Woods out-jumping Garcia there, who really should have had that. No excuse for Woods to get there before his defensive marker. And then the tie is complete with Woods, a far post header. Once again, set pieces on both now. Before it was only near post, now apparently it's far post. RSL evens it. It's not enough to keep Hector Medrano hired. And you're never going to believe who RSL hired. They brought back Jason Kreis. He's back. He's like, okay, guys, look, I leave this place. I go to NYCFC, and this is what you do. Oh, come on, guys. Well, I guess I gotta fix it, says Jason Kreis. Well, he's going to have a whole season to worry about that as RSL bottom out with 35 points. Absolutely atrocious. One penultimate match, though, a 2-0 win against Montreal at home. Goals from Russell Tybert and Jason Holt. Gonzalo Porras sent off in the 54th to confirm that Montreal would not get back into this game after the Caps got their 2-0 lead. Let's take a look at the goals, starting with Tybert, a 19th minute strike here. Off a corner, Lay goes near post, can't find anybody, but Adrian Russell-Rayner does well to get the ball. Mane's shot is actually very well saved by Aaron Fernandez, but Tybert is there to clean up the garbage. 1-0 Vancouver. Well, they're packed into BC plays for this one. Fernandez then starts off with a goal kick, but Adrian Russell-Rayner is there along with, I believe that's Bryce Alderson. Yes, it is, an all-Canadian backline. It's Holt and Montoya link up in midfield. There's Kakuta Mane coming in. Mane stops, waits, goes back to Holt. Holt fires at a goal. Fernandez will want that one back as he dove into the net to allow that goal in. And Jason Holt makes it 2-0 and secures a Vancouver victory with that win. Vancouver ensured they would not finish worse than third in Major League Soccer. So let's see if we can climb the ladder a little bit higher. Can we confirm second place with a win against FC Dallas? Let's find out here. I think we are going to, generally speaking, stick with this lineup that I pre-set up. Tyler Cisneros, got Lay coming off the bench for Clark. Yes, good. All right, here we go. Vancouver and Dallas at BC Place. It's the last regular season home game of this save file, and of this series. Following this, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be playoffs no matter what, and then Blue and White will finally come to a conclusion as we prepare to start up a new series in Football Manager 2015, which I hope you will all come back to watch. I'm looking forward to it. Still deciding what team I want to play during the beta and early stages. I know I will be returning for sure, absolutely 100%, to the Vancouver Whitecaps after the winter transfer patch has been applied. But before then, still working on it. But that's the future. Let's look at what we're doing right now here. Alright, boys. Let's go. Secure second place. Get ourselves a nice home advantage. Second leg in the playoffs. Nice and wide like we like to do. And we're off. Vancouver in the white. FC Dallas in their hoops. Red and white. And their kickoff is instantly intercepted by the midfield. And Cisneros now has to decide what he wants to do on the left-hand side. Plays in Garcia. Garcia can't get past his man, and Hughes puts that out for a throw. No early goals on a flyer here. As now we see another chance here in the 12th minute. Miguel Montoya playing the header game with Mauro Diaz and finally gets the ball to Quinones. Holt going long for Tybert, finds him. Tybert's in behind the defense. Great save. Clark can't get to the rebound. Cisneros tries to cross in, but Raul Fernandez is there. Great chance there for the Caps. Are they going to regret not being able to bank that one? I have a sneaking suspicion, perhaps. But first things first, let's get through this chance. Montoya now to Holt. Holt. Cisneros crossing. Clark can't get there. Holt. Quinones has it himself over the net. Not very far off, Dennis Quinones. I think even 0-0 will be enough. I think. Can't remember if San Jose's already played or not. Well, regardless, if we can hold Dallas off the score sheet themselves, I'll be very happy. We'll bring on Lay for the second half here. All right, let's see here. Let's get up tempo here. Working our best when we're up tempo. Let's see if that gets us a goal here in the second half of the final game of the regular season in 2016. Can the Caps improve on their playoff seeding? And again, I'd like to point out the fact that we are solidly in the playoffs means I kept my promise to my players that everything would be alright at the end of the season. And I also made the... Oh, I made the fans very happy. Right off the second half kick, Cisneros heads a ball into the back of the net. 1-0 Vancouver. Oh, that's lovely. That could be very good. Franco Lewis doing very well from the right back position to find Russell Tybert. Great cross. An unmarked Cisneros wide open. Fernandez overcommits and can't dive back in time. Well, thank you very much. And it's still all Vancouver. Franco Lewis to Russell Tybert. Looks for him again, but this time Vidal is there to intercept. He had both Le and Cisneros searching for that ball in the penalty area. Sniffing around for an easy tap-in. Wasn't to be. Is there another chance, though? Quinones, Tybert, Le! Saved by Fernandez. A very good chance for Le. It does count as a clear-cut chance, not converted. We need to convert those chances. Alright, please close him down. Still nothing going on here. Alright, Tybert's not doing so hot on the right, so we'll bring on Mane. And I think we'll bring on O'Neill for Quinones and then swap positions. Alright, Lay here with a free kick. He's pretty good at these, but can't find the head of a player in a white jersey. Plays 1-2 with Quinones. Maybe he should have had the shot himself there instead of trying to play in his D-mid teammate. Span, though, can't get past Gantar as thankfully some last-ditch defending broke up the attack just enough for Gantar to regain possession. Goes long, finds Tybert. Tybert trying to find Lay, can't get past Vidal. Quinones. Holt. Montoya, that substitution that I called for still has not happened. Cisneros. Garcia crossing long. Oh, it's in the back of the net! Garcia gets a goal. I think he was looking for the run of Lay there. Yeah, there's the run. He's onside. He's looking for that Lay header. Didn't need it. Back of the net it goes. 2-0 Vancouver. Garcia getting on the score sheet. There, the substitute. And the left side, Cisneros and Garcia showing up. Lay's free kick, headed just wide by Torres. He's got great delivery, does Lay. If he can get some good headers on the ball, that will be fantastic. Montoya now to Mane. Franco Lewis, Miguel Montoya, Shane O'Neill. Back to Montoya and Lewis. Mane is inside, gets across, Lay's header, post and out. Oh, he was so close, was Lay. You know he wants one. He probably deserves it, all things considered. And doing his part. That goal kick is going absolutely nowhere fast. Fernandez will pick it up and restart. Goes long. Won't get past Garcia, though. Cisneros looking for Lay. Can't get past Leonardo. And Leonardo goes long. And Alderson misjudges the header. Kane is free, but Alderson and Torres combine to block the shot. And nothing further comes of it. Andrew Jacobson, though, finds a Coloma again. Kane one more time, and this time he's offside. Because Kane is really going to spark plug since he came into this game. Let's just make sure nothing else happens there. Yes, I would like him to not be. There we go. Excellent. Gantar with the goal kick as time winds down. Does Dallas have a late brace in them to shatter the dreams of the Vancouver faithful? Unlikely. Mane looking. Crossing. Lay. Oh, he did manage to beat Vidal to the header, but it was a tough one. Couldn't get it on target. 2 minutes of stoppage time. And that's it, Vancouver. A 2-0 win to close out the regular season. They do so on what I believe is either a 10 or 11 game unbeaten streak, which is phenomenal considering where we were. The darkest of our dark days. Vancouver indeed confirm second place in the Western Conference, from second worst to second best, 52 points. And they're actually not too far away from taking first from Portland. Now, on the other hand, LA and Portland will finish the regular season with their match in the West. LA need, I believe they have, do they have differential on Seattle? They must have it on Chivas. No, they are actually -2 and fewer goals scored. So they need to win. For LA, it's winning you're in. If not, Seattle, who were on the bottom of the table, just squeak past Chivas for that 5th place spot. Oh my goodness. Will we see who won those matches? Who is going to the knockout round and who is going home? It's going to be, fingers crossed, drum roll, suspense. Ooh, LA Saracen sets a retirement date. Good for him. I do have just a nice little friendly against our 49th parallel rivals set up. Anybody good there? Yeah, some decent ideas. Good ones for the future, for nothing else. Yeah, I do not care for him. Torres is progressing. Come on, show me those Sunday results. Show me those Sunday results. Not interested. I got playoffs to worry about. Show me those results for Sunday, please. It is Sporting beating DC to go to 6th. Not enough to get into the playoff spots. Columbus absolutely destroying the competition. A solid first place. And I mean, that's an amazing supporter shield campaign for Columbus. New York, 2-0 over Chicago. Still on the bottom. And Portland and LA draw. It is not enough. Seattle will survive and move on to the knockout round in Major League Soccer's playoffs. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know how it goes from here. Match by match, episode at a time, Vancouver will attempt to end blue and white with another MLS Cup. Can we do it? Can the defending MLS Cup champs keep their silverware? We'll find out next time as we begin the road to MLS Cup 2016 on Blue and White. My name is Rituro. Thank you all for watching, everybody. If you like what you've seen, please be sure to like or follow either here on youtube.ca/steelswords or on twitch.tv/Rituro. Or you can even follow me on Twitter at @RituroGuy. Let me know who you want to see me play during the beta preview and the early days of Football Manager 2015. I am open to all ideas. Just as an example, my current top choice is Colo Colo in Chile, which sounds like a ton of fun, and early indications appear that yes, it would be. Anyway, that's for next time. My name is Rituro. Thank you all for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.